You guys know I travel often and I pack well. That's what I teach here on It's the Kellys. You guys see a lot of the whole packing well type of thing with all of my reviews of travel essentials and packing videos. But today we're going to talk a little bit more about that whole travel often part of my motto. I'm sure most people watching today want to travel often. And sometimes a lot of that is going to come down to the cost. Obviously, we're not all winning dream trips over here, although that would be really nice. After 10 years of traveling very consistently and going to over 100 countries in all 7 continents, I know how to score some cheap flights. And to be perfectly honest, if a flight's not cheap enough, I'm not going. And today I'm going to share my tips with you. Whether I'm saving a couple $100s or whether I'm saving $1,500. Yeah, I've saved $1,500 on a flight before just by doing one of these tips. So I'm sure you're dying to know which one that is. So let's go ahead and just dive right in. And of course, for even more reviews of travel essentials, packing videos, travel tip videos like this, and even travel vlogs, subscribe and follow us on Instagram for even more. All right, I'm going to do you guys a solid and I'm going to give you my best tip as the first tip, okay? I can't hold it in any longer. My favorite tip and something that I do quite often is to research your flights leaving out of different airports. Now, I live in Michigan. I'm about 40 minutes away from the Detroit airport, and there can be some good deals out of there. Chances are I'm probably going to fly out of Detroit. However, if a destination that I really want to go to is going to be way out of my budget, I am going to look at different airports. I'm going to start with nearby ones such as Chicago or Toronto, and I may even look out of DC or various New York airports. And this is where I save a lot of money. For example, at the end of the month, I am flying to Kigali, Rwanda with a bunch of friends. And from Detroit to Rwanda, it was going to be $2,600. But instead, I got a fare out of Toronto for $1,100. So I saved $1,500 on that flight. And that wasn't just for me. That was for my flight and Brian's flight. So really, we saved about $3,000. Now, do we have to drive 4 hours there and 4 hours back? Yes, but is that worth $3,000 to me? Yes. There's even been times if I'm flying to Australia, New Zealand, Bora Bora, Fiji, I will fly from Detroit to LA on a separate domestic flight, and then I'm going to fly from LA to that destination near the South Pacific. Sometimes I can do that for really, really cheap. All of those destinations that I just mentioned, I have gotten extremely affordable flights if I fly from the West Coast instead of Michigan. That is my number one tip. It always will be. Just make sure everything is going to work out timing wise when you're getting to that airport and then flying out. My second tip is to mix and match airlines. Look at different one-way flights. Now, this is one of my favorite tips for more of a domestic trip within the US. I have a lot of friends and clients that want to take their kids on a spring break trip or something like that. And of course, it can be really expensive. So I say, don't just look round trip with Delta. Look at Delta on the way there and maybe United on the way back. And you guys, when I tell them that, their mind is blown. They're like, I didn't know I could do that. Yes, you can book one ways. It's not always necessarily going to work out, but a lot of the times it will. My third tip is to sign up for different flight deal alerts. Now, sometimes you need to have a membership. I really like Going and Daily Drop Pro because those deals get emailed to me every single day. I could scroll for hours showing you the amount of deals that Going and FareDrop have sent me over the years. It's like, hey, guess what? If you want to go to Peru in March, the flights are only $400. Sometimes these are mistake fares. Sometimes they're just really good deals. Either way, they get sent to you. And if you can take advantage of it, great. Now, my trips are usually booked pretty far in advance, so I don't get to take advantage of those very often, but I have those memberships so that I can share them with my friends. Maybe I should even start sharing them with you guys. And when you sign up for something like that, again, don't just put in your home airport, put in other airports as well. Because if I get a flight alert that I can go from Chicago to Cartagena for $130, cool. I'm going to. Now, they could have cheaper memberships, they could have more expensive memberships, but either way, sometimes just getting one incredible flight deal makes the membership pay for itself. My fourth tip is to be flexible with dates and times. Now, I know this doesn't always work out with maybe your work schedule or your kid's school schedule, but if you can be flexible to save a little bit of money, do it. If you really want to fly out on a Saturday at 2 p.m., but you're going to save money by flying out Friday at 6 a.m., is that worth it? Maybe not if it's just for you, but if you're buying flights for your entire family and you're saving that much money, it can be worth it. My fifth tip is to get a good travel credit card. Now, you can get one as cheap as $95 a year, or you can spend a little bit more money for one with even more perks. We have a Chase Sapphire card, and that's really the only one that we have. We're not the craziest travel hackers. Believe me, there's a lot of other channels out there that are incredible at travel hacking, and I have some friends that are incredible at travel hacking, but this is really the only card that we use. So anything that we buy, and particularly the things that are going to get us 3 or 4 or 5 times the points, we are going to buy it with our Chase Sapphire card, and then we are going to pay it off immediately and get all the points. Then I can transfer those points into miles on all of the different airline partners and get free flights, usually multiple times a year, whether it's on a really long flight across the world or whether it's a domestic flight to get across the US. If you're responsible enough to pay off a credit card, this is definitely one of the best ways to save money to travel. Tip number 6 is to search in incognito mode. Now, this is debated a lot, but I do find consistent results. I do like to do incognito mode or delete my internet history while I'm looking for a flight. I will also go on websites and apps to see which prices end up being better. And I have definitely seen differences within different browsers or apps. For example, sometimes the Skyscanner app is going to give you a different price than the Skyscanner website. So check out different browsers, clear your history and your cookies, or even look at apps and really just compare. Tip number 7 is to track flight prices. Now, you're researching your trip, you kind of know where you want to go, you kind of know when you want to go, but you're not quite ready to purchase the flight yet. I hear ya. I do the same thing. So what I'm going to do is create a flight alert. Whether it's on Google Flights or Skyscanner, I am going to be alerted when that flight price changes, whether it goes down or whether it goes up. I'm going to know it, and if it's consistently going up, I better stop whatever I'm doing and buy it just in case. Tip number 8 is to say yes to a stopover. Now, sometimes the cheapest flights are going to have the longest layovers, and believe me, I understand that you want to get to your destination as soon as possible. But if I am getting an incredible flight deal, but I have to stay overnight in Istanbul or Hong Kong or Reykjavik, cool. I'm kind of getting an extra night of a vacation while I'm saving money. It's a bonus destination. Take advantage of it. And sometimes these long layovers have a free night at a hotel, or if you're not overnight, it'll have a free tour if you're 7 hours or longer. You're saving money and you're seeing more cool stuff. Totally worth it, in my opinion. Number 9 is to not always assume that flying is cheaper. Now, this one, obviously, if you're flying like from the US to Europe, you have to fly, duh. But when you're within Europe, you're going to, land in London, and then you want to go to France, and then you want to go to Belgium, and then Amsterdam, and you want to do all these different things. Newsflash, you don't have to fly to all of those places. If you're American, this may be crazy mind-blowing to you, but they have amazing trains and buses that'll take you from place to place, and it's going to be affordable and efficient. Brian and I once did a trip where we did 7 countries in Europe, just in one trip. And yeah, of course, we flew there and flew home, but between every country, we either did a bus or a train. And this was honestly the most affordable trip we've ever done. Some routes were like $7 or something like that. that. And honestly, it's a lot more comfortable than flying. So those are 9 of my favorite tips for getting cheaper flights. But I want to leave you guys with one thing. Sometimes you're going to be researching flights and you want to find the best deal, and you're going to see that this random third-party website is $200 cheaper than booking directly with the airline. But you guys, just listen to me. Don't fall for it, okay? I did a whole video on booking third party versus booking direct, and I can link that down below in the description. Sometimes saving that money seems like an amazing thing, but sometimes it's not all it's cracked up to be. I would rather have you spend a little bit of extra money to book directly with the airline so that if something bad happens, you're okay. If something goes wrong, you want to be able to get help easily, and sometimes those third-party websites, that's not it. So yeah, those are my 9 tips and my anti-tip, I guess. This has really helped me save so much money. So much money. If I average out that I've saved, let's say $500, okay, on every single flight I've ever done, and I've been to 107 countries, think about how much money that is. That also made me think about how much money I've spent traveling. This much. But seriously, follow these tips, get yourself some cheaper flights, and go see the world. Please. It's such an amazing thing. It has changed my life. I want you to travel as often as I do, and I want you to pack well. So stick with me, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Instagram. Let me know the best deal that you've ever gotten on a flight, and let me know down below if you have any more questions. I am happy to answer them for you. I'm just passionate about you seeing the world. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy travels, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.